me of football. Some Saints fans, praying for or against the Super Bowl, most likely against it. And then others are praying for the Patriots and Rams,
Okay, we've got to do this. Mason, show him that arm. Hold that arm up. Look at there. Look at there.
There it is.
How'd that happen?
That's an arm right there.
He was up again. You were the coach. Tell what happened.
Well, we're wrestling in Missouri Nationals, and I'm actually trying to fix something here while I'm talking, so if I'm not looking, just ignore me. We were at the Missouri Nationals, which is a tough tournament to begin with, and his first match, you won by quite a bit on the first match, and then he drew another kid that he's a tough kid, and he ended up falling on his arm, and
a little fracture there, but you ought to see the other guy.
I think there's a couple fractures in there, if I recall right.
Yep.
Voila. Get the arm healed and back on the mat, right? There you go. Morning weather is brought by Old Time Restaurant on the Square in Mountain Home, Monday through Friday 7 to 2, Saturday to 11.
There you go. Let me switch over to the other page here.
There you go.
Sorry, I was fixing a little technical glitch we were having this morning, but I got it resolved. And
there you go.
We are good to go.
What's the specials today,
on TV? For breakfast, we got 2 pancakes, 2 sausage bacon, 2 eggs for $5.88. Can't beat it. And for lunch, we're doing something a little different. We're doing Southwest chicken. Have you had her Southwest chicken before?
No, but I bet it's going to be good.
Sounds
she
good.
bakes a boneless, skinless chicken breast.
Boneless. There you go.
There you go. You don't even have to worry about the bone. And then it's smothered in a Papa Jack cheese and peppers and onions and tomatoes. And
Scooter.
Sounds like a plan.
I'm hungry.
We'll see y'all down there.
That's cruel. He's talking about, oh, my goodness, that sounds good.
Comes with 2 sides, roll of cornbread. $6.88, can't beat it.
All-American breakfast and lunch right there.
There you go. There you go. What's your favorite restaurant, Mason?
I was going to say, I remember one time we went to Old Time Restaurant, and I just ordered like 300 pancakes or something, because their pancakes are delicious.
We do have some of the best pancakes.
The pancakes are about the size of the studio lamps here. I mean, huge pancakes. Yeah. I was down there Saturday in a told Edge. I said, just one small pancake on the side. Dude, is that big around? Yeah.
I do want to say this because we were talking about Mason and his arm. He broke his arm at the last tournament, and we had a practice on Tuesday. And guess who was there and was working with the kids and rooting them on and pushing them, and that's
dedication. That's what it takes.
That's impressive.
There you go, commitment.
That is.
There you go. He's committed.
Morning weather brought to you by Old Time Restaurant on the Square in Mountain Home. Rain has moved off to the east. Right here, we're at 1226 Commerce Drive in Mountain Home.
I hate to tell you, it's raining.
But not as hard. I mean, if I can hear the gutter draining out here. 54 degrees right now in Mountain Home. It's dropped to 47 at Harrison, so that cold front's moving through. 66 at Hardy, 68 at Mountain View. Woo, man. My goodness. 54 at Yellville, 68 at Marshall, 54 at Calico Rock. Around the region, St. Louis is checking in at 42, while it's 62 at Poplar Bluff, Missouri. 150 miles between the two cities there, between Poplar Bluff and St. Louis on Highway 67. And, wow, 20-degree difference there. Branson at 43, West Plains at 58, and it's still, I don't know, Watford City, they're hung up at minus 18 for some reason. I keep teasing my boys up there. Well, we had tornado warnings this morning, and, you're at minus 18 up there. On the radar, I need to refresh this because I think some of this has moved. Well, you can see the motion there. This is all the way down into Texas, parts of Oklahoma, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, into Illinois, and then moves on east past the Mississippi River, all the way up into Lake Michigan area. And so, the bulk of the precip right now is on us. So we'll go ahead and we'll take a look at the Little Rock stop. Ready, Scooter?
Yep.
Here's the Little Rock radar right now. We do have this severe weather box right here that's going towards Batesville, Arkansas, that's going to affect, most of the major highways in north central and northwest Arkansas. Affecting Interstate 40 west of Little Rock, Highway 65 Little Rock to Branson, 62 412 east and west, Highway 5 south, the 201 south coming out, and then the Highways 201, 101, and Highway 5 going to the Missouri state line. But this line of showers is basically from the southwest corner to the northeast corner. And it'll run farther past West Plains and Poplar Bluff for sure. We're just at the swipe of the radar. The only highways not affected right now: Interstate 30, Little Rock, Hot Springs, Texarkana, Little Rock East, I-40 right now, Highway 63, and Interstate 555 and Interstate 55 in northeast Arkansas. Interstate 30 not affected much, but as this moves east and northeast, Interstate 30 and 40 will be affected. What was that interstate down there at Pine Bluff?
You got
530 or something. I
don't know.
I haven't been down there in years.
That little red strip right there next to, or to the east of Mountain Home, that was the strip that came through here.
Just a minute ago.
Yes, and that's what spawned on the tornado warning.
No, that's long. This is right now.
This is all right.
This current.
But the from my understanding,
let me go back from the loop. Now bring up the loop. We may see it. Oop. Let me hit that Adobe Flash.
Way to go. I don't believe that tornado touched down anywhere from what they reported, but there was rotation in it. Yep. And it's pretty cool because I was watching KY3 when it hit, and they were talking about they can see the circular rotation, and they can tell because it's a perfect circle that there's no debris in it yet. So they don't see it as touching down. They can actually see the debris in the rotation.
Now this loop we're seeing right here
I thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah.
This loop we're seeing tracks from 6:19 a.m. to 7:08 a.m. So this is about 3-minute delay right here. So I wish I had that loop from earlier. Let's take a look at Missouri. We'll take a look at the state of Missouri. St. Louis radar stop. You can see it continues West Plains, Poplar Bluff, Farmington, Cape Girardeau, Sikeston, Missouri. You can see Illinois. Illinois getting a lot of rain right now, affecting Interstate 70, 44, 55, 64, 70, all the interstates. A little bit around Columbia, Missouri. Southwest Missouri. We're going to hit another big glob here. You're going to see Northwest Arkansas, I-40. Not too bad at Joplin and Springfield right now, where they had some ice up there. So you know, it's just wet from here to St. Louis, from here to Kansas City or Springfield. You know, we've got a lot of stuff going on. And so, I'm going to hit Arkansas right here, see if I can bring this up. We have got severe thunderstorm watch in the purple counties here, severe thunderstorm warning in this box here. And then right here we have a winter weather advisory for Fayetteville to Fort Smith. 7-day forecast for today. Now through 8 a.m. we have severe thunderstorm watch. We have a 90% chance of showers, 90 to 20% chance today. Then it drops to 16 degrees. It's going to be clear today, clear tomorrow. High of 33 tomorrow. So we've got to drop about another 20 some odd degrees just to get to the high temperature for tomorrow. 16 Friday night. Saturday a high of 40, mostly sunny. Saturday night 50% chance of freezing rain, 70% chance on Sunday with a high of 39, rain, freezing rain likely. Sunday night, 70% chance of rain, so it goes on and on and on. Drought monitor will be updated later today. Yeah, like it's going to change. Arkansas, Missouri with no drought situations right now. I drive Arkansas. Check the road conditions real quick. And looks like everything is clear. So what's going on at Pocahontas? We'll see high water on Highway 166 near Pocahontas, Arkansas. And I think that's all we have there. Missouri Department of Transportation north of Springfield, Highway 13, Highway 7, Kansas City, northern Missouri. The purple is covered highways and roadways right now. The darker blue is partly covered, and the lighter blue is mostly clear. Jefferson City and Columbia down to Springfield and Joplin in pretty good shape, but this is the area right here. The purple stripes is where you see all the ice storm things that were taking place. And anyway, traveling in Missouri, be sure to check out MoDOT. If you're on iDrive Arkansas, you can check your border states, Tennessee, Mississippi, Texas, Oklahoma, and Missouri, and you get your border states right there. And so, morning weather is brought to you by Old Time Restaurant on the Square in Mountain Home. Ding! Let's see what we got.
There you go.
Just my brother in Harrison, what about our weather over here?
See, he leaves his phone on so that everybody on TV can hear dinging, and
ding,
when it
ding,
rings.
Ding,
that's
ding,
right.
Ding, ding.
Important message.
Hey, Mason, you want to read this?
Sure.
Sure. This is a PSA. Let me get this plug in real quick. Brought to you by Affordable Housing, 870-741-2883. They bring you the community calendar each and every day. Go ahead and talk about that.
So the MHCA is having a spaghetti dinner fundraiser on Monday, March the 4th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. It's a drop-in, and donations are welcome. This fundraiser enables MHCA Junior High to travel to Kentucky to the Ark Encounter. To the Creation Museum in the Ark Encounter.
And so the spaghetti dinner is going to be at the Mountain Home Bible Church at 145 Pioneer Trail. Donations are welcome. And it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a fun dinner.
Probably.
A lot of fun. We have another fundraiser this is for the Mountain Home High School French Club. They're having chili supper on the 22nd, which is 2 weeks from tomorrow. And it's from 4 to 7 at Century 21 Lemac Real Estate across from McDonald's. You have a bowl of chili, dessert, water bottle. Come on out and help support the kids. They're going to Quebec in 2020.
All right.
His daughter did that trip, so it was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. It is a memory that she'll always have. I mean, she really did make a lot of memories, and it was a great experience.
The 2019 Lend a Hand Masquerade Ball is scheduled for Saturday, February 9th at the Shed. Tickets are $100 each. It includes dinner and the drinks. There's not a cash bar, and Cindy says, yeah, that includes the drinks. So Saturday, February 9th at the Shed, social at 6, dinner at 7. Music by Tragically White. They'll be playing from 8 to midnight. The band is sponsored by Integrity First Bank, and this is part of the Baxter Regional Hospital Foundation. For more information, 870-508-1770. It's 7:17. We better take a break. Barry Lagg's our guest today. Stick around. We're going to be right back.
All right.
The best breakfast or lunch in the Twin Lakes area, then you've got to come to the Old Time Restaurant. Voted the best breakfast and lunch for 2011, the Old Time Restaurant not only gives you the Southern hospitality right when you walk in the door, they also offer scrumptious breakfast options to curb that early morning appetite. Or stop in later in the day for a tasty sandwich, salad, or a daily special. If a sweet tooth is your guilty pleasure, you can't go wrong with the Pie Lady cooking out over 30 different types of pies. That's the Old Time Restaurant located on the square in Mountain Home.
Our old burger was only 7 ounces, but now it's 8 with brioche bun and pickles. Comes with its own steak knife, it's really that big. Your best competition is always yourself. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh, baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. We're focused on one thing, burgers, ribs, fajitas. Just that one thing, burgers, ribs, and fajitas. We're reeling in our menu because it got out of hand. We had a moment of self-actualization. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh, baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back.
It's that time of year again. Time to take a hard look at your Medicare health plan. If you're looking for a new plan or looking to renew your existing plan, now's the time to renew all your options. At Bacco Insurance, we'll sit down with you and show you all the new choices and options, including $0 premium plans with low copays and dental, vision, and hearing benefits. Let us help take the confusion out of selecting a plan and find one catered to your needs. Contact Bacco Insurance today, located at 351 East 9th Street, Suite B in Mountain Home.
Do you know where your money goes when you give to charity? At the Salvation Army, 85 cents of every dollar stays to help those in need in our local community. Hi, I'm Captain Spaulding. The money we raise help people in the surrounding 5 counties, including Baxter, Marion, Sharp, Izzard, and Fulton. You can help by donating your unwanted items and by shopping at the Salvation Army store. Those in need get assistance with rent, utilities, sending kids to camp, and many other things. When it comes to this charity, the Salvation Army always helps those in our community.
Whether you're a professional lawnscape contractor or a homeowner in need of quality lawn equipment, Moran's Lawn and Garden has you covered. Moran's is the longest originally owned lawn and garden business in Mountain Home, with a 5,700 square foot warehouse packed full of new current year inventory for all your lawn maintenance needs. Moran stocks a full line of factory parts, and they service everything they sell, offering top names like Grasshopper, Hustler, and Country Clipper. Moran stands behind their quality service with thousands of customers using their products daily. Moran's Lawn and Garden, servicing the entire Twin Lakes area.
When I grow up, I want to save lives, like a superhero, and show up when people needed me.
When I grow up, I want to do animations. I want to create characters that can fly.
No matter what it is you want out of life, there is a path to get there.
When I grow up, I don't know what I want to do when I grow up, but I know I want to go to college.
Arkansas State University Mountain Home. Take your first step at asumh.edu.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detailed services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
Why would I recommend Hospice of the Ozarks? Because I know the people that work there. I know their hearts. And I know that their desire is to help people with the suffering and the anxiety and the things that can come with either terminal diagnosis or a terminal condition. We want them to have a peace of heart and to have a comfort and to know that someone's there to help them through that so they can enjoy the time that they have.
.721 on this rainy Thursday morning. We've had thunder and lightning and a lot of rain and stuff going on right here. We're at 1226 Commerce Drive north of Pizza Hut here in Mountain Home. Guest today is Barry Lagg and pastor of City on Hill Church. And so how's it going?
It's going well, friend. Good to see you, man.
You too. Yeah, good to see you.
Absolutely.
And so, hey, talk a little bit about you two are wrestling dads.
Well,
I mean, you don't wrestle each other, but you've got a son. He's got to say he coaches, and you're
that's a good idea.
Yeah,
he said something about wrestling.
That'd be a great fundraiser. It'd be a quick match for Scooter, you know.
I don't know.
Now, if I could roll on him, I may win, but I got to roll quickly.
I think you give me a good run for my money.
We'll roll out the mat right up
there.
There
you go. That'd be a great fundraiser. We get 2 mats out of that deal, probably, at least.
Let's see. We need to get some oxygen.
There you go. Oxygen.
Paramedic.
That's right. A little IV bag on the side.
So you being a wrestling dad, of course, Scooter, he's been involved with it for many years, and even back in the radio days before he even joined us over at the radio station. I mean, he was involved, and we did a little fundraiser to get some mats and stuff. And so, you know, I've seen this progress. What's 5, 6, 7 years?
I think it's 7 years.
7 years, about 2012, we did the radio thing and did a little fundraiser. But how's your boy enjoy the wrestling?
Oh, he loves it. This is our second year for wrestling. Our oldest son, he is a junior, and this is his second year. He was junior varsity last year, and our 8th grader is now doing it this year, and our 7th grader wants to try it next year. He'll be in 8th grade as well, so it's kind of growing on our family. We didn't have this in Mississippi. In fact, I think they're the only state that doesn't have high school wrestling, and
really?
I think so. Yeah, mostly football, baseball, basketball, and we fell in love with it. Our son kind of fell in love with it, oldest son, and it's intense.
In his confidence and his self-esteem.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. They're scared to death when they get out there at first, and you know, after they get a little bit of mat time, they get a little bit of confidence. Even when they lose, you know,
that just fuels the fire.
Oh yeah,
that just fuels the fire right there.
I love it because you could see the self-discipline come.
Oh, really?
If you want to get better, it's all on you. You know, the coach can only do so much. You really got to push yourself, drive yourself, and you know, especially during wrestling season. I mean, the kid is waking up. He's eating right. He's, you know, listen, so moms and dads, if you want at least 3 months of good discipline from your kids, get them in wrestling. But now they're thinking year round, let's go to camps, let's work on our skill, let's improve ourselves. There's a future for us in this.
It builds character, and what I have seen, I've not been to any of the matches, but, you know, we talk, and when Bob Reckenwald's here too, we talk about it, you know, it's such a plus for the football programs.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Both of them, in my opinion, should be feeder programs. A lot of schools have been doing this.
Bob and Scooter.
Way back when, you know, and, you know, especially for our community. The football players should be wrestling. The wrestlers should be playing football if they want to, of course. And it's really, it's just hard on the parents watching the match. That's it.
If you had that defensive front line in wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
And with that type of discipline, that type of character, that type of upper body strength.
Yeah, body
build. You have one tough defensive front line on the football field.
Oh, absolutely. You know, and it actually helps with their hand and movement skills as well. You know,
and
the balance. You have to, you know, be able to maneuver quickly, and even the big boys can do some tricks, which is pretty fun to watch. But like I said, it's harder on the parent than it is the wrestler. You know, it's an intense sport. My heart's coming out of my chest, and I used to.
You ever want to get on the mat? Look, kid.
I was gonna say I used to play college sports, and I'm sweating in the stands for my son. You know.
Well, here's the thing, all right, because he's got 2 kids in it right now.
Oh, you got 2 in there?
Yeah, I
he's
have
got
2.
one that I work with on the high school level, and then he's got one I work with on the youth level, and then he's got a 7th grader. And all I can think is, I'm gonna have 3 Laggs. I can just see my gray hair growing.
That's right, just growing. You think it's bad now?
No, they are good kids, and they really push hard to achieve their goals.
But just the stories I hear from his son, and when I first, he was just a shy, timid, quiet young man.
Oh, yeah.
And now he's
Right.
what, 4-time?
He's a 4-time national medalist or All-American. He is he's a 4-time state medalist. He is ranked 4th in the country right now.
And one time he's on the mat as sick as you could be, just as sick as you could be, and went up there and whooped him up. I mean, just tore him up.
Yeah,
Where do you've got to reach deep for that. When you've got a fever and you're feeling bad, and you reach
when
down
you
for
go
that,
2 rounds and you can't get to your feet, he couldn't stand up by himself. He had nothing left. He crawled out to the center of the mat and finished 2 full rounds.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
that's some stamina now, folks.
Yeah, you got to reach down deep for it, for sure.
Wow.
It's all about your core, building a core.
So now the boys that are in wrestling, they're going to do football. You do have some football players, don't you?
Yeah, I have 2. 2 out of 3 play football, and of course the football coaches are trying to get my son, who's a junior, back out for his senior year. He used to play in junior high. He probably could be a tight end or receiver or something like that, but he's interested for sure.
Good.
Yep.
Good.
But wrestling is his passion, Football is probably the other 2 guys' passion right now, but they're quickly falling in love with wrestling.
Well, that's good.
Yep.
So what did you think of Alabama and Clemson for that national championship?
Well, I thought,
I like
it.
Dabo Swinney.
I love
class act.
Dabo. I tell you, he is a great coach, just a great Christian man, and you could see, obviously they're both great recruiting schools and powerhouses for sure. But
throughout the season, when Bob's here doing Monday sports with Bob Rechtenwald, is it a fear factor with Alabama? It's like, we got to play Alabama. We can't beat those guys. Is it a mental breakdown? I mean, because you're a Mississippi State Bulldog guy.
Yeah, Hell State, speaking of hell outside, but Hell State football or whatever. We lost a heartbreaker to LSU in basketball last night in overtime. But that's just part of being a State fan. But... the players.
I think Arkansas beat LSU by 1.
They did. It was amazing.
We beat. Let's say we beat LSU, then we beat Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Those are back to back.
Yeah. Arkansas is coming together at the right time.
Tennessee's still number 1.
Yeah, still number 1, I believe. That's like playing a pro team. It seems.
Don't you know Kevin Moore's like?
Oh yeah. He's wearing his orange socks right now all year. He's not gonna.
Right there.
He's gonna continue to wear his orange socks all year long. Kevin, we love you. Hope you're doing well.
Sunday morning orange, I can see.
Yeah, in church. There it is. I love it. But the guys that played under Les Miles and Saban said it's the difference between playing for a drill sergeant versus your father. That's the way they said it. They liked playing for Les Miles because it was like playing for their dad, and they liked playing for Saban, but it was like playing for a drill sergeant.
Really?
Yeah, that's what some of the LSU guys said. So.
Well, when you're looking at a $10+ million a year salary, you better be winning some football games.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
With that kind of money.
Well, I'll never forget Dan Mullen was at State when he was there, and now he's at Florida. We'll pray for him. But he said every time we played Alabama. He said they would ask him, what do you think about playing Alabama? And he would always say, well, they have more 5-stars sitting on their bench than our whole team. So, we're looking at a tough game.
Do you see the tide to turn? No pun intended. They can't. I mean, how long can they stay like that?
It's hard to sustain in any sport. Alabama.
Look at New England Patriots.
Alabama comes and goes, but theirs is a little bit longer as far as sustaining that winning dominance, but.
But Dabo Swinney and Clemson, they just went in there and said, "Oh, okay, so it's Alabama, big deal.
Yeah,
we're going to go out there and whoop their tails." And
they
did.
Yeah.
7:30 on this rainy Thursday. Time for a break. More with Barry Lagg right after this. Stick around.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment. Their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
When you need durable and comfortable hospital scrub stat, you need the Uniform Shop. The Uniform Shop is the place for top quality uniforms, carrying a great selection of name brands including Carhartt, Cherokee, and Gray's Anatomy, as well as shoes from Clogs, Softwalk, and Landau, stethoscopes from Littman, blood pressure cuffs, scissors, name tagged retractable, compression socks, paramedic BDUs, and Rocky boots. The Uniform Shop also offers customizing, embroidery, as well as minor alterations. Let us put you in uniforms. Shop the Uniform Shop. Coming up on 7:33, Barry Lagg's our guest and pastor of City on the Hill Church, and so we'll talk a little Christianity here and what's going on, and
a lot going on in the world.
You know, I can't help but bring it up what's going on in New York and Virginia with the abortion issues. In fact, something popped up on Facebook this morning, says the United States is the only country where you can abort your unborn child, basically kill the child, but go to jail for spanking a child.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the laws are completely flipped up on their head, you know, and we always, for a while there, we kept talking about how foreign countries were backwards and doing things wrongly, but you know, you look at our country and it seems like with these kinds of issues we're going down quickly, you know, and that is the truth. That's just a fact. You know, you can hit a woman in the stomach who's pregnant and kill the baby, and it's practically manslaughter, but then you can abort your child and it's okay.
And then they're even talking in I think it was Virginia of the possibility that even when the mother is 3 centimeters dilated, to abort the child.
Yeah.
I mean, that child is alive.
Right.
I mean, it's just waiting to breathe its first breath, you know.
Yeah, and that is the definition of infanticide. And no matter how you cut it, no matter what he said or how it was interpreted, you know, when you do that with your children, that is infanticide. You know, it's kind of harsh to say, and you know, but there's no. I'm not even a doctor. I don't think you need to be a doctor to know this, but there's no medical reason outside of convenience to do that. I mean, we're especially in America. You know, we're here in the United States of America, the greatest country in the world, with so many advancements in medicine and whatnot. And now, you know, with these 4D screens and with medical advancements and how far we've come, it literally now is a matter of convenience. Yeah. You know, that doesn't mean we're, you know, jerks to women and folks who have had abortions and whatnot, but it is, to change the culture of death, you've got to stop engaging in these practices as a country, as people, as individuals and communities, and it's just absurd for New York and the Virginia governor to even think about these practices.
You know, have we devalued human life to a sense of worthlessness? I mean, right now, you know, my son and I worked 10 or 11 months on this addictions, bullying, and suicide video, and it's been very well accepted. And, you know, we talk about the value of a human life.
That's right.
And we had some folks taken because they've taken their own life. And in fact, we're still number one in the state. Baxter County is number one for suicide rates, both civilian and veteran.
Is that right?
But yet, then I look at this and, oh, well, so-and-so just found out she's pregnant. Well, she's just going to get an abortion. It's like, that's a child.
Yeah, that's correct. You know,
this is not just a whim. This is a child.
Yeah, tissue. You know,
Yeah.
fetus. That's kind of the their game plan is to change the terms, change the definitions. You know, if you can say that it's a fetus instead of a baby, you know, then it's just tissue. But it's so much more than that. You know, and you think about the veteran who is contemplating suicide, or the one who actually did, or the high schooler. So when we say that we're pro-life, we're pro-life.
Yeah.
We're for the veteran who is contemplating that. We're for the high schooler. We're for the baby who is yet to arrive on the scene outside of the womb. And the baby who is inside of the womb. And it's interesting to me, especially with this discussion, that we would declare, you know, we would say that a baby is not born unless they take their first breath outside of the womb. But doctors will say that they'll pronounce us dead when our heart stops beating. You know, that's
so what happens when the heart starts beating?
Yeah, what happens when the heart starts to beat? Are we just tissue now? That comes from a culture that devalues humans, and which is really one of the first commands of the Bible, or one of the first truths of the Bible, is that we're made in the image of God, which means we're worthy of respect and value. We're supposed to be reflectors of His glory. You know, when you think of an image, you think of a mirror that reflects the light, that bends the light, and we were intended to be that. You know, reflectors of the light. Although we're broken and fallen and in need of redemption and restoration, and so really, you know, you can't separate you know, politics from morality. The two are intertwined. You know, everybody talks like you can. But really, that's what legislation is. You know,
you know,
can't.
They talk about it's a health issue. I say
Yes.
it's a responsibility issue.
Absolutely.
Because when you think about it, a woman does not conceive a child because somebody threw a snowball at her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a responsibility on two parties here.
And it's an illogical argument. You know, when someone says, you know, it's the woman's body, well, actually, there's a baby with its own body and its own DNA inside of the mother, and that baby has rights as well. Not just biblically, but it also constitutionally. So, you know, the baby has rights, right to life and liberty and pursuit of happiness, just like the mother. And what about the father? The fathers are always left out.
About that. Yeah.
They're always left out. You know, what the father obviously contributes to the pregnancy, and so what about his rights? What about his rights over that child? You know, he always gets left out of the conversation. And so all of that comes from devaluing human beings, not viewing people as being made in the image of God and worthy of value and respect.
And then you look at school shootings. You know, you've got to put up with, and I think it's a fantasy versus reality situation in some instances. Well, you know, he wasn't mentally stable, and how many times have we talked about this, where the kids get the Xbox games and it's pow, 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 you know, blood squirts everywhere, and rats, you know, reset, you know, I'll be right back, you know, play the game over, and everybody pops back to life. Can that be a mental factor in the fact that we don't realize that death is permanent?
Yeah.
Suicide is permanent. Right. This is not, I'll show them.
Right.
No, well, you know.
Right. Well, there's certainly
you see what I'm saying there?
Yeah, there's certainly a glorification of death in our country and culture, and you know, you have to be wise with those various mediums, you know, for sure. I think access to the internet and this kind of worldwide information that's kind of being bombarded and thrown at our children is part of it as well. They're really desensitized to a lot of things, whereas we grew up in a analog stage. In fact, my generation is the only generation or last generation to go from analog to digital. Just a little plug there for my generation. And so, we were shocked by some of the things that we saw on TV and through the movies, and now a lot of that...
Is that shock is gone? No.
A lot of that shock is gone. So when you combine the devaluing of human beings as image bearers of God with this kind of culture of death and glorification of death and what have you, you've got a recipe for disaster. And so you take the kid who's being bullied, or the veteran. It's
one thing comes to mind
could
very
end badly.
Let's see, it's going to be about 51 years ago, January. My Sunday school teacher, I was a member of First Baptist Church, Fairview Heights, Illinois. Fine church up there at Fairview Heights, still going strong, just outside of St. Louis. Remember the Sunday before this particular gentleman was to take over my Sunday school class. I was about 9, 10, 11 years old back then. I was 9 years old, yeah. And we got a phone call early one Sunday morning about 7:30. Dad says, "Really, you got to be kidding." He said, "Oh my," I thought, what is going on? My Sunday school teacher at that time was working for Illinois Central Railroad and got off work at 12:30 morning. His wife and 2 or 3 daughters had the car, was going to pick him up at the depot, where she's at her mother's house. Long story short, they picked the husband up. A kid running from cops in a stolen car hits him head on. Everybody in both cars were dead, were killed. And I remember we were going to go, after church, some folks can go see the cars. I can still remember, if you can imagine, a 64 Chevrolet, big car, 327, 283 engine, and a 69, 68, 67 Chevrolet.
Oh, yeah.
Head on. I mean, I've never seen, to this day, 51 years later, I'll never forget that image. In fact, my dad had brought a camera, and he walked out, and he stood there beside 2 cars, and he just kind of like this, and he turned back to our car and put the camera away. And it's like, I mean, that was reality for me.
Yeah.
Because I can't say on television what I saw that day.
Yeah.
But those images are still in my head 51 years later.
Oh, absolutely.
Those 2 cars.
Absolutely. Well, I was doing, this will surprise your audience, my pop culture knowledge, but I was born, this will date me just a little bit, just around the time that the original Halloween horror movie came out. And, I was reading some reviews about the new Halloween movie, because they've done 27 of those movies, and so probably more like 8. But the young people, I was reading this article, the young people today, because they made it as a sequel, and it was made in the same vein as the original, not a lot of blood, not a lot of gore, and the young people today thought it was a joke. They thought it was laughable, and the reviews were laughable in that sense from this generation, and they didn't think it was scary at all. Whereas back in the 70s, it was the most frightening thing ever.
When I was in grade school,
it was a very interesting.
When I was in grade school, there again in Fairview Heights, Illinois, great school system over there, William Holiday Pontiac School System up there. Did you what happened to Joe? No, he brought gum to school. Really? He had gum, not gun, gum.
Right. Chewing gum, like Bubblicious.
Wrigley's? Really? That, oh my goodness.
Yeah. So that desensitization is real. That's going on in our country, and that factors into just about every area of life. Politics.
Well, have we lost respect because sitting there thinking while you're talking, sitting there in the classroom with the teacher, yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no, yeah, stick it in your, out in the hallway, whack 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 on the butt with a board, and you told the line you get a note going home from school. And when Dad found out about whack, 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 you know,
Oh yeah, probably
nowadays you get all the lawyers involved with the ACLU, and everybody has to go to hearings on this over. You know.
Well, you know, you're destroying a child's confidence when you discipline them, right? You know, so they ought to come out to wrestling and they'll find out what discipline's all about. So they'll find it out. You know.
7:46. Time for a commercial break. Be right back. A step back in time when going to a barbershop meant more than just getting a haircut. Come into Legionnaire's Barbershop today, a unique gentleman barbershop. Get back in style from a former celebrity hairstylist and a licensed barber instructor who are trained in tonsorial arts and lock removal and happy to give you a straight razor shave. Legionnaire's Barbershop is veteran-owned and operated and located at 848 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. For a full, old-fashioned barbershop experience, stop by Legionnaire Barbershop today. Your car is a member of the family. It takes you where you need to go, and it makes sure you are safe at all times. When a wreck or accident happens, trust the only place that will treat you and your vehicle like a person, not a number. From collision repair and windshield replacement to paintless dent repair and hail damage removal, Dent Boys can cover all your automotive repair needs and make sure you are satisfied every step of the way. Call or visit the professionals at Dent Boys today and see the Dent Boys difference.
If you want the best breakfast or lunch in the Twin Lakes area, then you've got to come to the Old Time Restaurant. Voted the best breakfast and lunch for 2011, the Old Time Restaurant not only gives you the Southern hospitality right when you walk in the door, they also offer scrumptious breakfast options to curb that early morning appetite. Or stop in later in the day for a tasty sandwich, salad, or a daily special. If a sweet tooth is your guilty pleasure, you can't go wrong with the Pie Lady cooking out over 30 different types of pies. That's the Old Time Restaurant located on the square in Mountain Home.
Our old burger was only 7 ounces, but now it's 8 with brioche bun and pickles. Comes with its own steak knife, it's really that big. Your best competition is always yourself. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh, baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. We're focused on one thing, burgers, ribs, fajitas. Just that one thing, burgers, ribs, and fajitas. We're reeling in our menu because it got out of hand. We had a moment of self-actualization. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh, baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back.
It's that time of year again. Time to take a hard look at your Medicare health plan. If you're looking for a new plan or looking to renew your existing plan, now's the time to renew all your options. At Bacco Insurance, we'll sit down with you and show you all the new choices and options, including $0 premium plans with low copays and dental, vision, and hearing benefits. Let us help take the confusion out of selecting a plan and find one catered to your needs. Contact Bacco Insurance today, located at 351 East 9th Street, Suite B in Mountain Home.
Do you know where your money goes when you give to charity? At the Salvation Army, 85 cents of every dollar stays to help those in need in our local community. Hi, I'm Captain Spaulding. The money we raise help people in the surrounding 5 counties, including Baxter, Marion, Sharp, Izzard, and Fulton. You can help by donating your unwanted items and by shopping at the Salvation Army store. Those in need get assistance with rent, utilities, sending kids to camp, and many other things. When it comes to this charity, the Salvation Army always helps those in our community.
Whether you're
$7:49, we're visiting with Barry Lagg, and been talking quite a few subjects here, but let's go back to the discipline. We're in the situation now where, I'll go back to my childhood back in Southern Illinois. We had a blast. We had a great neighborhood. In fact, some of the people from the old neighborhood may be tuned in today watching by Facebook or on YouTube or something today. But we'd get out on bicycles, and oh yeah, we observed every safety factor back in them days. Yeah, man, we were hell-bent for leather on bicycles. I mean, the faster we could ride, we had no helmets, no knee pads. Some of us were in shorts.
Oh, yeah.
And we'd tear up and down those roads. We'd go all the way down to the highway, which was US 50, and we'd come back through the neighborhood. I mean, shoot.
I'm going to put a plug in for a Christian comedian, Brad Stein. He did a show years ago. It's on YouTube. Y'all need to check it out, called Put a Helmet On. And that's what he talked about. The whole theme was how we're kind of creating this weak culture. Because, which is, a lot of it's, there's a lot of good that that came from some of that protection mentality, if you will, rubber mats and underneath the jungle gym. But the audience, the young people that need to realize, younger than me actually, need to realize we played on the jungle gym with concrete under us. If you fell, you got hurt. You busted your head, you busted your arm. It is a totally different generation.
I wrecked a bicycle in 1969. Fractured my left arm, didn't know about it, and it got to hurting when I was catching baseball game that night. Well, your arm is broke, dummy.
Oh yeah, dislocated shoulder at football.
Pop it back in place.
Pop it in place and go back in the game.
And look at the opioid and the painkiller medication problem we have now. We're scared to death of pain.
Right. We're one of the few countries in the world, because of our blessings of medicine, that struggle with this.
So we put
other countries just don't struggle with this.
We got knee pads and helmets and goggles for bicycles, and oh no, Joey fell off and he cut his knee, and then you got to doctor him up all kind of goop and stuff.
Right.
I cut my finger one time on the playground. They were getting in Illinois. The teacher did, got one of these old brown. Remember where you crank the paper out in that old brown paper?
Yeah.
Just grab hold of that.
That's right.
You're fine.
That's right. Put some glue on it. That's what we would do, right? Health department would love that. Just put some glue on it and suture it up. Back in the day, But it's kind of funny, right? Because we've come full circle. So in one vein, we've devalued human life, but in the other sense, we've overvalued it. Not in that sense where we've protected it so much.
Well, we're going from one extreme to the other, where we will actually abort a child that has a heartbeat. But then once the child's here, we've got this.
It is a weird time to live.
You can't spank your child, and they got to have a bike helmet and goggles, and you got to do this.
It's the best of times and the worst of times. We're living in an age where we can abort our children, but then if they're here, we're going to bubble wrap them everywhere they go. Kind of like Ralphie on A Christmas Story,
When I was like 4 or 5 years old, before I started first grade in Illinois, my grandfather was a fireman on the Terminal Railroad in St. Louis. And when the paychecks were issued, if he was off that day, he'd drive back to St. Louis, only about 14, 15 miles to the rail yard. Well, he called my mom and says, he said, I got to go to St. Louis, pick a paycheck. Dale, want to go along? Yeah, I'll have him ready to go. So he pulls in the driveway with a 55 Plymouth. You got drum brakes, tube-type tires, a single reservoir master cylinder, no seat belts in the car,
no seat
metal
belt.
dash, metal everything.
That's right.
No safety glass, and so I'm standing up.
What year was this?
1963.
63, gotcha. Beatles, were you listening to some Beatles or something?
Not then, that was after 64.
64?
Yeah, they came out in 64. In fact, today was the day they landed in New York in 1964.
I put that plug in there for you. I was trying to get you to the Beatles as quickly as I could.
Actually, February 9th will be the anniversary of them on Ed
There
Sullivan
you go.
show.
I got them going.
I've got my stack of Beatles ready to go for tonight. But anyway, I'd stand up in the front seat of that 55 Plymouth. We go down. We had this long hill called French Village Hill on US 50. 60, 65 miles an hour. No seat belt. Dale, you might ought to sit down. So I'd sit in the seat. We'd go from St. Louis to Neelyville, Missouri on Highway 67 to Dad's 57 Plymouth, and my grandparents would be in the back seat, Mom, Dad in the front seat, and I'd sit with Grandpa and Grandma in the back seat for a while, and then jump over the seat and sit with Mom and Dad. Come on. Now you got to go out to the police department and make sure that this safety seat is here, and you got to face it backwards till they turn this age. You got to brace it here and brace it there and all this stuff.
Yeah, the blessings and curses of technology and advancements. They've seat belts, car seats for children. They've saved a lot of lives, but then you go too far with the, bubble wrap your child, and so they don't get sick. And now you put alcohol all over them, and now they catch everything. Yeah.
So we got the two extremes, from aborting a child to the overprotection. Where's the common sense fit in here?
That's really what it comes down to, in a lot of ways. That's what in one sense, that's kind of what has made our country so great, is that it was built on Christian and Judeo principles, and those are very commonsensical principles. There's a baby in the womb. You know, you need to cherish that and protect that baby, just like you would the mother. But then when the child is here, you kind of shepherd the child and love the child. But if they fall down and scrape their knee,
it's a lesson learned.
It's a lesson learned. That's okay. You help them up. You doctor the knee. They're going to fall down. And so there's a balance there. And, of course, when you remove God from that, of course, you know, that's what I do for a living and calling. When you remove God from the picture, you're going to lose the balance. And then the culture is going to try to grab for whatever they can according to their own whims in order to navigate this thing called life.
Wow, that's true.
And that's kind of where we are, you know.
You know, look at some of the stuff on the newsreels. It just kind of scratched my head like, what? Really? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You know, there's this little cartoon drawing of a dog and a cat talking to baby. Says, what? You mean you don't have a society that helps protect you?
Yeah. It's an unbelievable time to live with so many opportunities in our country and communities, and then in another sense, you know, we're kind of at war.
Yeah.
It's amazing. We're kind of at war with ourselves, you know.
Yeah.
And so it's been that way, obviously, since the founding of our country. But never in a million years would we have thought that the most vulnerable in the society would be under attack.
Yeah. You would think the safest spot for a baby is in its mother's womb, but not anymore.
Right.
Just stay out of New York and Virginia.
Well, and as much as, yeah, for sure, and as much as people may not admit this, everybody thought that the abortion topic was off the table. It's out of politics now, but now it's right back on the table.
Oh,
it's going to continue to come back.
It's on the front row now.
More and more and more, you know.
And you got people applauding the New York and Virginia governors.
Yeah,
they're applauding this.
It's insanity. It's just absolutely insanity. You know, there aren't enough words to describe how crazy of a ruling that was. But with all of the advancements in technology, like I said, and where we are today, you can no longer say, they can no longer say it's for the mother's health. Because you have C-sections and whatnot. It's all for convenience. It literally is for convenience. Now, that's not to beat up. Like I said, it's not to beat up mothers who have had them. There's grace there. There's forgiveness there.
The past is the past. Pick up the pieces and move on.
And a culture of life. See, this is the flip side, and this is a little plug for the church. The church, if we're going to say that abortion is murder, we need to be there for the struggling mothers. We need to be for adoption. We need to be for foster care. We need to be there to support the women in need, you know, single mothers, whatnot. You can't just go around and say, you know, this is murder, 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 and not be there
but in the
for
aftermath,
them.
what you're seeing is the women that have been through this reach out in love.
Yes, reach out in love. So if we're going to be pro-life, let's be pro-life all the way.
Yeah.
Let's just don't be pro-life for 10 months.
Don't
Let's
accuse love.
Pro-life all the way to the end in our country.
Final minute.
Hell State.
Who?
Hell State. Go Bulldogs. we need all the help we can get. I'm still upset about that loss last night.
I couldn't tell.
I'm telling you. You know, it's just like a State fan, you know, the near wins they kill you. The near wins.
Well, now my season is coming up late February, early March when spring training and baseball starts.
There you go. I see your Cardinals mug. You ready?
Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready. I've got Camo X tuned in on the 1948 Zenith already.
Is it going to be a good year?
Well, I think so. We'll wait and see. The thing about baseball, it's...
He always thinks so.
Yeah,
it's fun. You got to think positive. You know, it's always good when the Cardinals win and the Cubs lose.
There you go.
That's always good.
But he does have those lines. Remember 10 years ago,
That's right.
Usually
That's right.
What, 8 years ago, we walked up on time. Well, we got to go. We got 3 or 4 seconds to say goodbye. See you tomorrow.
Right, yeah.